Hi everyone, I'm Daphne Walbridge from the First Year Principal, and I help new and aspiring principals thrive as educational leaders. Now, today I want to talk about the importance of investing in your staff's emotional bank account and and why this is important in relations to crisis management or having to manage difficult situations that may present themselves throughout the year. So as I'm recording this coaching video, we are well into the second wave of the pandemic, and principals everywhere, I know in Ontario, had to struggle and work very hard to organize everyone to make sure that as of Monday, when we got back to work after the winter break, everybody was able to deliver classroom instructions virtually. And I want to talk about an experience I went through with one of my excellent principals who was worried about how she would be transitioning into this phase, knowing that certain members of her staff were not present due to illness or sick leave. So, in other words, she was missing some of her teachers, and she was worried that, well, who am I going to put in this virtual classroom to support the students when we need to start teaching Tuesday morning? And of course, we had a policy where we would be tapping into our service teachers who would be willing and able to offer the lessons. Now, the rub was that for her was that she felt that she didn't want to use these teachers, and she felt that, I don't want them to think that we're just plugging holes and we're going to be tapping into their knowledge just to plug these holes, and that we don't appreciate what they do on a day-to-day basis, being an art teacher or a music teacher or whatever the case may be. So there's a couple of lessons. I'm going to talk about the emotional bank account and what she did at the beginning of the year. And I'm also going to talk about the scripts that we give our staff as a principal. So because this principal had invested in the emotional well-being of her staff from day one with thoughts and presence, like being present, and her words and her attention to detail and things like that, because she had invested so much in their bank account. When this situation presented itself where she had to ask these service teachers to just show up and start teaching a class to help the teacher who was on sick leave, um, it went well because she had already invested in their bank account. So she was able to do a withdrawal. Now, what did this look like? So basically, she had to meet with these teachers. She had several teachers who were offering services, and I coached her into consulting them and into asking them, okay, we have a teacher, we have to substitute for this teacher, and we are four around the table. How are we going to make this happen? Do you have any ideas? Let's collaborate, let's brainstorm. And lo and behold, the teachers were more than happy to offer suggestions, to share the tasks, to offer quality instruction, and they were engaging with the parents right away. They were on board, and this alleviated a huge stress for the principal. So because she tapped she invested in the emotional wellness of the teachers at the beginning of the year and throughout the year. When she needed something, she could ask these teachers for their help and their support, and they felt whole. They felt like their emotional cup had been filled. So as a result, they were able to be of service to that principal. And sure enough, today we're online, we're learning online, the students are receiving great lessons, it's smooth sailing, and everybody is happy. So that's the first lesson. I want to segue a little bit prior to this whole event. The script that was happening inside the mind of the principal was one that was based in lack, because she saw this. She was projecting that, that her teachers would feel that they would be, plugging holes, or that we would be using them for their services, just to help, like I said, plug these holes. So I coached her into flipping that script. And the reason I want to highlight this is because, as a principal, you need to be very mindful of the language you're using with your staff, because you are the filter. As Todd Whitaker says, if the principal sneezes, the entire school gets a cold. So this is akin to your language. If you're using lack based, and she was doing this unconsciously, of course, it's not the end of the world, but I caught it, right? And I said, so this language you're using, you're going to have to flip it on its head. And you can't project onto the other teachers that they might be feeling that, they're plugging holes, or that they're not being of service. So your role is to say, listen, you're going to be saving us. You're going to be coming to our rescue, because the students know you, they feel safe with you, and they'll be enjoying your presence online, knowing that you'll be delivering. You know these students already, you know how they learn, you know their personalities. So, it's stressful enough for these kids to be online instead of being with their friends. This is offering a nice buffer. And so you're really coming to save us. And we're working as a team, and we're like a family, and we're going to get this thing going. And so that's the script she used with these teachers. And lo and behold, they caught on, and they felt empowered, they felt consulted, and they worked really well together. So those are the lessons I want to. There's a lot of golden nuggets in today's lesson. So invest in the emotional wellness of your staff from the get-go, because you're going to need to tap into their strengths throughout the year. You're a human being. You're going to go through challenges. You're going to need their help. So in doing so, then you can tap into that resource. Your staff will be more than willing and happy to help. And mind your language. Make sure that you have a filter, and that you use strong, positive, conscious language with your staff, because that is going to affect the way they see their role and how they present themselves to their students. All right, so that is my key takeaways in managing. You can call it a crisis, or you can call it a challenge, and the power of really of tapping into your staff, their strengths, because you have invested in their well-being. All right, so that's what I have for today. If you're looking for some resources to help you, if you're an aspiring principal, and if you're looking for free resources to help you launch your principalship, head on over to thefirstyearprincipal.com, and I have tons of cheat sheets and checklists and toolkits to help you tool up, so you can prepare for your next goal, your next project. All right, so I'll see you next week, and bye for now.